You know, sometimes when you get to a job, you just gotta cut your fingernails. I can't stand for my fingernails to be long and get dirt up underneath them and all that stuff. So I keep fingernail clippers in my pocket. So we are already at the job, and I got the chains off the skid steer. I got the grapple bucket, the tooth bucket. I got a load of crushing runs sitting out here, and we are about to get, I'm about to show you around, and I'm gonna get started. So let me get the important work done first. These manicured hands. All right, Scott Benson, skid steer premier at the old job site. We're gonna get right into it. So what I've got to do here is take one load of crush and run and just skim it out in this area, and then I've got a bunch of trees and limbs and debris, and we'll carry to 2 spots in the woods and level out a spot for a couple of spots, I think, for a lean-to that's coming. He does have chickens down there, so let me show you around. There's the crush and run I delivered a couple of days ago, and we're gonna put it right here just as much as we can get it. I'm a little confused because I thought that these stepping stones were gonna be gone, so I got to maybe ask his wife or somebody's down there working. I've never met her, but there's the crush and run. And if you look way down there, you'll see all kinds of limbs and debris. The trick on this job is going to be, they went through here and cut all this stuff up with a chainsaw. Okay, if you see these stumps all in here, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch hidden throughout this whole process. It's probably going to be something I'm going to have to really watch out for when it comes to my skid steer tracks, because you pop a track, tear a track. So let me talk with her and we'll get busy. stirred up a big friend today. I don't know if he's got something wrong with him or he's got him a nice chicken from the chicken coop stuck down halfway down his belly there. But I think I might have run over him. But anyways, I'm not sure. But he might have been in them tires I've been moving. I don't want no part of no snake. I don't care what kind it is. Let's get back to work. All right, fat boy had to take a break. Eat a sandwich, get something to drink. I'm also out of diesel fuel. Man, I'm gonna tell you, this is practically an underwater spring, this whole back area. I got to get you set up for some action. I've been all over the place, man, and I really ain't been able to set the tripod up too much, but I'm about to. I did want to show you around and show you some obstacles and show you what I'm going through. I almost got stuck just a minute ago, but I'm about to clean these tracks out. You see how they're just completely caked with mud. Also, anytime you brush cutting or using a grapple with sticks and debris like I am, I always want to keep this thing cleaned off, man, and catch on fire. Look at this mess. Jeez. But before I fill up, I'm gonna take you around. One of the hardest parts about this thing is they went through and cleaned all this up with a chainsaw and excuse me, and made it bad for me because I've got all these stumps sticking up everywhere, and you can see them all through there. But I'm having to dodge those things because even little things like that, oh god damn, I fell. Not only will you fall, but they'll jab into your tracks, rip your tracks. They'll take and I mean, they did the whole thing this way. But they'll rip your track, pop a track. You turn sideways and go to spinning, you will pop a track on stuff like that. So stumps and things like that is big problems. The issue is everywhere I'm trying to grab material, because way down there is one pile and way over there is another pile. So I'm trying to share it by going back and forth. But if you look how marry the ground is, I mean, look, it's soaking wet right there. I mean, soaked. And it doesn't matter where I go, you can see how I'm sinking up. I mean, this top ground right here is decent, but it's still moist. I'm gonna take you back here and show you where I literally, and actually, I don't know if you can see it before I walk over there to show you. I'm gonna show you where I almost got stuck. But if you really just look, I mean, it's like an army mine with grenades on the ground. I mean, these things will damage my machine. It's just completely everywhere, everywhere. And hope I don't run into my old black snake friend. He climbed up in here somewhere, I think. I really don't know where he's at, but I don't care. I don't want to be no part of it. Yeah, here it is. Jeez, man, I definitely know not to come here no more. My left side of my skid steer went down in that hole, and I don't even know if this video will do it justice. It won't on your phone, but it might on TV. But I sunk down there and had to use my bucket and push myself out, and luckily I was able to get out. But as you can see, I still got these big piles right here to get, and I get about over 10 calls a day on spam. But stumps everywhere. And even these little ones, man, they'll get you. I mean, they'll get you bad. See how underground water is everywhere around here. But I moved all that, moved those tires. I'm making progress. I still got all this in here to do. I had bidded this job for 2 days, and it's, you know, going to be borderline to taking me about a day and a half probably, because when I get finished, I'm gonna try to come through here and just kind of skim out some of these marred up areas. But the reason it's taking a little bit so long is because there's chicken egg. Huh. 2 chicken eggs. I might put them on skid steer engine and cook them for lunch. Hey. See how water just stands? But I cleaned all this up. There was a bunch of debris. There's a bunch of debris up at the truck. There was a little building right here. I've got almost all that platform wood up. I'd like to come get that big one piece. And then I kind of skimmed this out. But at the end of the day, you know, until it dries, you ain't gonna do nothing but skim mud. So I'm gonna fill the skid steer up, and then I'll get you going. Darn screw sticking straight up out of the air on that piece of wood. But yeah, I'm gonna fill up the fuel, and then I'll take and set you up somewhere where you might be able to see something. All right, got that done. I got wished I could get it done a little better, but that thing was messed, you know, clogged up, and it's so bad for your tracks, your track system, when it starts getting caked up like that. But I'm gonna put it on a rabbit and see if I can run up and down through there and clean it off more. Bad part is I'm probably just gonna get marred up down in there again. I'm waking up all kinds of friends today. Turtle soup, that's what's for supper. Okay. Now, this is sick. Viewers' discretion is advised. But this ain't for supper. That dead chicken. I just about set you down in it, in the tripod, try to get a good shot. Well, you got to see that in action. This is what I was talking about, this place being underground spring and marred up. Because now, I'm in a serious mess. I mean, I'm bottomed out. So, I don't know how I'm gonna get myself out of here without some help. And maybe the excavator. I'm not sure. To be continued. Okay, if you want to learn how to burn up about 6 hours of a day, talk to me, the king of rookie mistakes. I have never in 55 years got my skid steer stuck, ever. I've always been able to back myself out with a bucket, but now I had to go get the dump truck, I had to go get the excavator, and I've got to dig myself out of this mess right here. So I'm gonna get some of this cleaned up right here and then get to digging. Okay, this is 100% without a doubt, and I'm going super slow with it. This is 100% without a doubt the worst things you could do in the field when your excavator's stuck. It's just dangerous. So I don't know if you could see over there, but I had to start the excavator by reaching it with that wrench, and then I had to lower the bar and then activate the hydraulic parking brake so this thing would move. So my theory as of right now is loosen the tension on this, get it to where I can get in it by raising it up because I couldn't lower it. So this is 100% MacGyver, whatever that is, MacGyver. He'd be proud of me.
all boils down, I need 2 people. If I had somebody run the skid steer and I could pull on it with an excavator, it'd be over with it. But that was a rough day. I don't even know if you can see me. Anyway, it's dark. Finally got it out. I'm gonna park my stuff up the road, and it is what it is. Because I'm beat, and I can't come back tomorrow. I think it's gonna rain Friday, which is gonna make this a whole nother mess. So, catch you on day 2. All right, day 2, I already got started a little bit before I set you up, but man, this is a swamp. This is the spot where I left you off at dark, where I got stuck at in the skid steer. And you can see how all the water, underground water, has come up and filled this up. And that's the spot I was stuck in. You can see obviously where I was bottomed out right there. I've been cleaning at the debris that was up here and piling it up there where I'm a little bit safer. So what's concerning me is I want to get this stuff down here, which is downhill, and down there's probably a creek, and this, you know, look, it makes sense. Underground springs, creeks, water's all gonna flow toward it. But here's what I'd like to get stopped. If you could see right there, see if I can get you turned. The water's running right now from that underground spring, pretty much flowing down through here where I've been pushing it and stuff, headed toward the creek, and it's going down through here right where I need to be working, which down here might be relatively okay if I could get down here. But anyway, I've got to dam this up real quick and get the water to hold where I can keep this as dry as possible, because over there at that one pile that I had showed you where the tires are and stuff, I can't even get to that anymore. So this is one of them jobs that you just should wait until it gets bone dead summer dry and leave it alone till then. But I'm here and I'm close, and I got the excavator, so if I get in trouble again, you know, now I'm not handicapped and into trouble as much as I was before. So anyway, let me get that spot dammed up, and let's see if I can't keep this dry and get to work down here a little bit. So All right, down here is the creek. You see how there's, hence why all the water flows down this big old hill. I'm gonna take and bring the excavator straight down that hill. You can see it up there. I'm gonna bring the excavator straight down this hill. It seems decently solid as long as I don't turn the tracks a whole lot and just go forward and backward. And I'm gonna try to get all this debris right here up as much as I can, and you know, and go from there. I cannot get the skid steer, I don't think, any farther down here. This is pretty dang wet right here. Skid steer's faster, but I think I'm asking for trouble. And like I always say, when in doubt, if you watched any of my past videos, it should be a bunch of people cheering in the background over this. When in doubt, don't do it. Look back at one of my videos where I busted the dump truck tire jackknife on the trailer. Stupid. All right, let me think this through a little bit, and might bring the excavator on down. Major blooper reel. Jack slapped you. I think it's going to be safe to say that I'm not good at filming with the excavator. Because I've done knocked you down twice. Got all this brush down here the best I can. I'll probably grab that little pile right there too, put it up there. But I think things are looking pretty good considering that I just don't have access to a lot of this, it being super wet. You know, right here, I'd have never probably made this with the skid steer going back and forth. So, you know, even though I had to bring the excavator for getting out of a jam, this came in handy at least. So, let's keep on keeping on. Okay, I'm gonna get you and take you with me because it's so muddy right here, and set you up. Bringing the skid steer down through here, getting all this, taking it up to that pile. At this point, I think I'm gonna be safe to try to get all of this around the barn up to that new pile. Then I'll have to take the excavator and transfer it over to the pile because I can't get the excavator in that marshy area. So hope that makes sense. You'll see it when we see it. All right. I'm gonna take and set you up enough to cover up this swampland spot, and then, which is this, where I got the excavator stuck. I'm gonna take, skid steer, got the skid steer stuck. Take the excavator over here and drag all this in and cover this up best I can. I mean, even look, this is where I almost got stuck the other day. I mean, it's just like one area solid, one area is super wet. So after I get that filled in, and I mean, I honestly think I did good considering if you look through here where I had the channel and avoid stumps and wet areas, wet, all this is soaked. these are the trails I was trying to use, and they just got wore out and full of water. And then I had to try to find a new one. But after I get that filled in, I think I've been saying that, I'm gonna take that big pile and move it over there. I couldn't get to there due to, again, the water. So I'm gonna take the excavator over there, pick it up, and just, you know, shuttle it over there with the skid steer thumb. And then I'll have this kind of wrapped up. He wanted me to level this area right here where the chickens, I think, on each side of the tractor trailers, but I just don't have no good dirt. I mean, there's just no good dirt to do that with. So when he gets here, I'm going to talk to him a little bit about it and just see what he wants me to do, and I'll do whatever he wants me to. But you know, I'm just in a tough spot right now. So but let's get something else started. So let's get busy. All right, the old GoPro battery strikes again. It went dead. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see some of the video, including this old manual shovel. I'm gonna tell you, I have got to pressure wash those tracks out, because that is so bad for them to get caked on the undercarriage like that and stay that way all the time. That's a mess. And I've only done that like 4 times already. It's just soaking wet down there, man. I'll show you what I did, if I can get to it. I was gonna put some dirt. Well, I did put some dirt over there by where that area he wanted, but to be completely honest with you, there's no good dirt. It's wet, and it's every time I go through it with a heavy machine, it's just marring right back up. I mean, I can't even slick it up. So it is what it is on that. But at least I went down there and got extra stuff along the creek banks for him. But right here, this is just a mess. I mean, obviously, if you look at the slope, it's like this, and it's going where it don't need to go, and all this hillside is feeding down here, obviously going to the creek. So it's just you know, until it gets regraded and this water problem stopped, there's just nothing you can do. You can't move mud. I pulled some dirt off that bank over there with the excavator and tried to use it along in here, but every time I did, I was sinking up right here trying to go in and out. So I'm going to get the excavator, bring it up the hill out of this mess. Skid steers up there out of the mess. I got a load of crushing run to put out. I thought he was going to be back pretty quick. There's a truck up there that's in my way. He offered to move it, but I said I don't need to for a couple hours. But I understand it's Saturday, and him and his family, he's been out of town. So him and his family's probably out having some fun, you know. So, but he might have forgot about me. But I got to move it. I got to get that truck moved before I can put that crushing run out, at least half of it. So I'll catch up with you on the crushing run moving. I'm sure the customer won't mind if I drink about 5 or 6 of these Modelo's while I'm waiting. All right, I'm gonna track pack this in a little bit more, but it went fine. And I left that up there because it already had some on it, so I tried to utilize it where he was adding a little extra parking spot to get out, walk up the walk path. But now all I gotta do is wait for him to come back, walk over everything, make sure the customer satisfied. Hey, this pretty much wrapped this thing up. Scott Benson, Skid Steer Premier, YouTube channel Georgia Nuts. I appreciate you watching this one.